The pony was walking by, mud-covered and bruised, when all of a sudden she turned. She saw the other pony, playing and laughing with her family. The pony's ears folded as she thought of what it was like back at her home. The filly kept on walking. She wondered why they did this to her. Why they tried whatever they could to make her miserable. Why they did all of this just because of one word. And it was a true word. As I'm telling you this, you may be thinking, oh, she's talking about the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Oh, she's talking about one of the main six as a filly. No. The filly walked home and opened the door. "Dad," she called out, "I'm home." She walked inside, her ears folded and her head hung low. She muttered to herself, "As if you even care," as she walked upstairs. "Oh yeah, hi," yelled Filthy Rich as she walked upstairs. "Yeah, said Diamond Tiara. She looked out the window and pondered. She wondered why she didn't have a loving family. She wondered why Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom were loved so much by their family, and why Scootaloo was loved by everyone around her. And yet the second she points something out that's absolutely, positively true, because she wants attention, she can never get attention besides being thrown in the mud and hurt. She looked out her window once again and watched the birds fly by. "I'm going outside," she yelled, and once again walked outside. She muttered to herself once again, "As if he even cares," as she walked out the door. After a long walk, she was called back in once she wrapped around the house of her neighborhood once again. She woke up again to the same day, just going to school like every other day. If she didn't know any better, she'd think that she was just repeating the same day over and over again. It's how it was every single day. Diamond was going to change that today. She walked inside the classroom and sat down and watched the teacher. She didn't drift off. She didn't not pay attention. She paid attention and she called out all the answers she knew. As soon as they got outside, Apple Bloom walked up to her. "Show off," she said. "You already show off your cutie mark and everything about yourself. Now you have to show off some crazy knowledge that you probably cheated on." "Actually, no," she said, her ears folding down. She walked away. She didn't even bother to insult them. She didn't even want to anymore. She was suddenly stopped. "Hey!" said the pony. "Oh, hey," said Diamond. "You want to have a sleepover tonight?" said Silver. Sure," said Diamond. "I'll ask my dad about that." "Okay," said Silver. "Do you mind if I invite the rest of the school?" "Wait, what?" said Diamond. "Well, you and I both know that my family is, rich. So, we have, a mansion. So, there's, 2 separate bedrooms. One for the popular kids and one for the unpopular kids. I'll sort them out like that, but I won't tell them." "How about you just have them be together?" said Diamond Tiara, who shrugged. Well, if that's what you want, she said, then sure. Ask your dad and come back to me later. Okay? Okay, said Diamond, who quickly galloped away. Dad, she called out. What? He said, as he looked up at her from reading the newspaper. She read the front cover. Something boring about taxes as usual. Can I go to sleepover at Silver's? She said. Tonight at 5? Why not leave right now? He said. Why? She said. Well, as if I want you here, he replied, rolling his eyes. Fine then, I will, said Diamond. He walked upstairs. She packed her bags and walked out the door. See you in the morning. She dragged the bag out there. When she got to the sleepover, everybody was talking, laughing, and playing games. Eventually, she got the courage to go up to the Cutie Mark Crusaders. But as soon as she did, they all looked up at her. Apple Bloom spoke first, saying, Oh, look, it's Queen Popular. The other fillies laughed. Sweetie Belle folded her ears back up. Then she whispered to Apple Bloom. Apple Bloom nodded. Sweetie Belle walked up. Why don't you just go roll around in the mud? Said Sweetie Belle. It's what you're usually doing, she said, rolling her eyes and shoving Diamond Tiara back, knocking off her tiara. Diamond Tiara watched in horror as her tiara fell off and broke to the floor. That's, she said. Her mind flashed by to the moment when she got it. Her mother was there. Diamond, her mother had said. Diamond Tiara had looked up. Yes? You and I both know I won't be around for very long. So, I made you something. And she held out the silver and pearl tiara. It's beautiful, Mom, she had said, and hugged her for the very last time. Diamond's eyes filled with tears as she picked up the shards and ran out the door, not ignoring all the ponies' calls and shouts for her to come back. Diamond walked up to her room. Her room was the highest on the house, mainly because she didn't want to be downstairs. Her parents were always there. Diamond Tiara grabbed something out of her bag and set it down on the windowsill. She sat down on the edge of the windowsill, then grabbed the object. It was a pair of scissors. She stood up and grabbed the end of the window with one of her hooves and spinned around so that her back was facing the open air. Diamond Tiara used her other hoof and brought the scissors close to herself. She let go with the other hoof and fell. As she was falling, Diamond Tiara made the decision. She jabbed the scissors into her own neck and continued to fall, dead. Diamond hit the ground that night. But before she did, she wondered, why? Why didn't the other ponies like me? Why did they treat me like nothing? Why am I never loved? Why?